All right, here we'll be doing a horseshoe flat top. We will be using only our clipper, comb, and a trimmer, no guards. We will start off by applying some shaving foam there on the hair to prepare it. As far as shaving foams, you can use whatever you have available to you. Borrow some from your dad, your co-worker, whatever. What I would suggest is the thicker the better. The reason for the shaving foam is that it will not clog your blades more than anything. But also, once you can faintly see the shaving foam, that means that the hair should be ready. It should be steady at 90 degrees in relation to where it grows on the scalp. Take your time when blow drying it. Make sure that the hair is nice and stiff. This video sped up. The full time I believe was right under 30 minutes. On the landing strip, we will start with our clipper open. And then from there, we'll start off on the sides by the parietal ridge with our clipper open, knocking off all the hair so it facilitates the process when we get to blending. When we get to blending in the fade. Hold the comb perpendicular to the scalp. Then right now we'll start off at the apex towards the front. We'll pivot the comb off of the apex so that we can set the base guideline when we start doing the flat top. Here we will close the clipper, set the base guideline for our fade. This customer had a mole right there behind his ear. That's why I'm trying to be careful there. All right, work your way all the way around. It makes you more efficient than just working on one side before we move on to the other. Then we're working once again on the parietal ridge with clipper over comb. There's plenty of ways of how to do clipper over comb. This is just a different way of achieving the same result. Lightly getting rid of some pesky hairs that is not connected with his hairline. He doesn't have a solid hairline, so we don't do a hard lineup. Now with our 00, we are stopping short of our clipper closed so that we don't raise the fade. We're just cleaning up underneath. That way we don't make any hard lines of demarcation. It facilitates the whole process. There's what I was talking about, where we're gonna place the comb on the apex and then set the base guideline for the whole haircut. And as y'all well know, the apex is the highest point of the scalp. Remember, we're only setting in the base of the haircut. We will go back and polish this haircut using either a wax or pomade, what I would recommend. I believe this time I used a pomade. We're starting to round it out. That way you can get the horseshoe look. They're going to be with the clipper closed. The reason I started with the clipper open, that way it gives us a little room for error. Makes it, once again, it makes it easier to be able to fade the haircut. There we're changing the angle of the comb so that we make sure that we're raising the hair properly so we're able to blend it out. We don't have any harsh guidelines there since we started off with clipper over comb and then proceeded to use our clipper open. And then underneath that we use our clipper closed, and underneath that we use our 00, which as you see gave us no harsh guidelines. It'll make it a lot easier for us to be able to fade. It's a great technique if you're barely starting to learn how to cut hair. They're continuing to polish that haircut there at the parietal ridge. We're going to be very careful when we're working on the parietal ridge that we make sure that we keep the fade on the side of the head and not on top of the head, because it can very easily end up being on top of the head. We continue to fade out that base guideline right there that we had initially done. And since we did clipper over comb, it made the process that much easier so we don't end up with a lot of weight or hard guidelines. This customer in particular does have an extra wide, if you will, parietal ridge. right in that area. That's the reason you can see a line. But we'll get that before the haircut's over. Using the corner of our blade makes it easier so we can be more surgical with the clipper. Continue to round that area off so you can get that horseshoe look. We're fading out the landing strip right there. As you can see, the haircut's almost done. In real time, without speeding up, this would be already about like 17, 18 minutes in. Like I said, I use some pomade there. I'm gonna re-blow dry the hair so we can and polish it up the haircut. Get rid of any stray hairs. Always remember when you're cutting hair, have a comb or a brush handy so you're able to remove all the loose clippings when you cut hair. That way you have a cleaner canvas. It makes it easier to see what needs to be faded. Another reason why I didn't start off with a wax or a pomade is that when you're cutting hair and you have a pomade, like I had mentioned earlier, it will clog your clipper. Well, it can clog your clipper, but more than anything, they're gonna be hair that's gonna end up getting stuck to the scalp because of the wax or pomade that you use. It's gonna end up happening here with this customer on the left side here in a little bit. This haircut here is a classic haircut. It's never going out of style. As long as we have a military and or law enforcement, we will there will always be customers requesting this haircut. Honestly, when I first started out, this was not a haircut I was comfortable with. It takes quite a bit of skill. Learned plenty of tricks from co-workers that I've had over the time, old school barbers that I've been able to work with. They're the ones that taught me about the foam. About also starting off with the clipper over comb there on the sides. It makes you easier. And you learn to work smarter, not harder. Right there is where you can see that little spot. That's where your hair got stuck with the pomade onto the scalp. You continue to fade out right there. Get rid of any little areas. I continue to turn around because I'm looking back at my mirror. When you're cutting hair, the mirrors will be your best friend. A little bit of freehand clipper cut and then back to clipper over comb. You continue to fade that line out. And we are almost done. I hope this video has helped anybody that wants to learn how to do a horseshoe flat top. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment on the video. I will answer as soon as I possibly can. There's also other videos there on the channel on how to do a full haircut with only blades using Master 76. Alright, y'all have a good one. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope it helped